Been gone for a couple days because I was sick with Ebola, or maybe just the common cold. And then after that, my friend and I were pulling off an art heist, which we almost got caught for. And then after that, my other friend is a Scottish bagpiper, so I had to go to this festival to support him. But I'm finally back doing Vim. So the first command today is the redirect command, redir, or you can just do ready for short. This allows you to take messages from Vim and put them into either files or variables or registers. So if we do redir and then a little shark symbol, and we send that to out.txt, I guess that's a good name, and then we can start doing other Vim commands. So here's a cool one. You can do G, Control G, and that tells you like the line and number and word count of the full file, which is pretty nice for if you're like a writer or something. And then there's GA, which tells you the ASCII value of your current character. And then there's G8, which tells you the hex representation of it. There's also another one, 8G8, which moves to the next legal hex byte, I think. You can read about it, 8G8, but that one's not nearly as useful as the other two. Anyway, we can't open the help right now because it's being redirected. So if we turn off redirection with redir and then end, and then we read in what we've redirected from this other file, out.txt. So we can do that with R, which is short for read, and then out.txt that inserts at the bottom. So you can see we've got those three different things that have been captured in the redirection. So that's kind of nice. Sometimes maybe you want the output of something to be in your system clipboard. So let's do redir, and then you can just reference registers with @ and then we'll do plus for the system clipboard. So we go like that, and then if we, I don't know, enter a weird mode. So let's do Control O for one shot, and then I guess G, Control H for select block mode, the most useful mode. And then we paste. You can see we actually, it was appending, but we have all that stuff in our system clipboard. So pretty nice for debugging. You can just like insert stuff, and then of course we can do redir and again. Another cool thing is you can do like redir into maybe your number registers, and then they'll all populate down. So we can start, well that's dumb, but we can write things, we can try to language format, but realize we don't have the correct setup for Python. And then if you look at the registers at display, you can see there's a bunch of stuff in here, and it's all captured down and propagated in the last 9 registers. There's videos about that if you don't know what it is, but yeah, simple stuff. Now I have a couple of command line shortcuts that I've discovered recently. So if you're in this little command line thing, a cool one is CTRL-RW to insert the word that your cursor is on. If you noticed, I entered and my cursor was right there. So that works for anything. I can go to like model, and then if I do CTRL-RW, inserts model. So if you happen to leave command mode and you're on a word you want, that's nice. Another one I've recently discovered is Control-D, and that displays all available commands. And then, so we could do CO maybe, and then Control-D, and you can see all of them. So if we do COL and then Control-A, that inserts all of the possible commands. And we can see this more clearly if it's just like CO, or actually let's just do C, that might lag, but Control-A, you can see it inserted every possible completion with spaces in between them. That can be quite nice if you're calling some command on a bunch of different files, you know, and you just want to fill. Another interesting one is, say we're on this model, you can do Control-W-I, and that'll open up a split actually with your search result on the first line. So like models right there, it's gonna open up a split and jump to the first like occurrence of it. So this is nice if there's variables. It's kind of like go to definition, but with a split automatically. And just because the original, or like the definition of go to definition now, I think is populate your search register with like model and then jump to it. You can see I just did it there, GD. So this is kind of like that, except it doesn't populate your search register and it opens in a split. So Control-W-I, kind of nice. And you can actually prefix like a lot of things with Control-W to automatically split them. So we have that out.txt. I can do Control-X-F to complete the file. And then if we go Control-W, G-F to go to file. Okay, that actually opened it in a tab. I was not expecting it to do that, but I thought it would open in a split. Whatever, usually Control-W, F. Okay, there we go. So that opened it. I guess Control-W, G-F opens it in a tab. Another cool one is when you're searching, like let's say we're searching for goal, you can do Control-L to complete the one letter at a time of the top match, is G-O-L-L. Or let's see verbose, V-E, and then I could do Control-L. Oh, that's actually completing the top result. So I go V-E-R and then Control-L, 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 Control-L will walk me along that. So that's kind of useful occasionally. There's a lot of other stuff that I cover in other videos. I try to never repeat tips, but obviously like not everyone on YouTube is going to see all of these videos, but I have like 10 other videos that are like this obscure about Vim. So if you want to know more stuff like that, the playlist is attached. And there's a couple of other things like window zooming and stuff. Like there's the ZT command, ZT, which sets your cursor to the top line, and then ZB, like that sets it to the bottom. This file's not long enough, and then ZZ like will center it. So if I were to have, you know, a bunch more to this file, YGO and then like 10p, so now it's pretty long. Now I can do ZZ and it centers my cursor, ZT top, ZB bottom, like that. And then there's also like side scrolling. So I don't know, if I copy this, Y $, paste, so now we have a long line. And we go to the middle of this with G capital M. I can do like Z capital L, and that'll move one screen over that way, and then Z capital H. And you can see it's not moving my cursor, it's just moving my like display. So kind of useful sometimes. And then let's go earlier 4 to undo everything. Earlier 4 minutes ago. So yeah, that's basically it for this one. Go check out the other ones if you want more hyper obscure and arguably useless Vim tips. I'll catch you next time.